Hi and welcome back once again to Bill's Cichlid Room. Today I thought I'd do a species profile on one of my favourite fish, the Nicaraguensis Cichlid. The Nicaraguensis Cichlid, the males get to about 10 inches, the females get to about 8 inches. They're quite easy to sex once they get to about 2.5 inches in size. What you'll find is the female has a blue-green sheen on the dorsal fin, like you can see on this one here, whereas the male has speckles on his dorsal fin. This is an F1 pair from Costa Rica, from the Rio San Juan. They're also found, as the name suggests, in Nicaragua, from Lake Nicaragua. They're quite a peaceful cichlid for the size. Again, you can't keep them with fish that are too small, because if they will fit in the mouth, they will eat them. But for most of your Central American cichlids, they'll do quite fine. As you can see in this tank, they're sharing it with the tuber and the Hypsophrys passions. They're about 3.5 inches this pair now. There's some rubbered stone eye in this tank as well. All these fish are from Costa Rica, and they were all brought over from Max Cichlids. Yeah. As I was saying, they're about 3.5 inches in size now. They normally start breeding when they're 4.5, 5 inches. They're quite unusual, the Nicaraguensis Cichlid. They're the only known cichlid to have non-adhesive eggs. That means that they will spawn in caves, but they don't actually stick the eggs onto the side or the roof of the cave. They're actually all together at the bottom. The reason for this is, in Lake Nicaragua, they actually share the space with Dovi and Neotropolis. So they're competing for breeding space all the time in between the rocks. So what they actually do, they actually dig a hole into the bank, about an arm's length, depending on the size of the fish, probably about 3 inches wide. As I say, about an arm's length. And what they do at the end of the tunnel, they actually make a hole, and that's where they'll breed. But because it's full of silt, there's nothing for the eggs to stick to, so they have non-adhesive eggs, and they just put them at the bottom. There's a really interesting video that Will Mines made around about 2005 when he went to Lake Nicaragua. The footage is actually, it's the Nicaraguensis with the Neotropolis and the Dovi. Now what happens, because they are competing for space, for breeding space with the Nicaraguensis, it's not in the best interest to have many of the fry around, so they actually team up with the Dovi. And there's a great scene where the male Nicaraguensis is actually with the Dovi, and he's looking after the Dovi's fry while the Dovi goes off hunting, trying to catch fish, whatever it was up to. So it is really amazing that the Dovi lets the male Nicaraguensis look after its fry. It's well worth a watch if you can track it down. It's called Cichlids from the Crater. As I say, it was about 2005. If you can track one down, it is well worth watching. This is another pair of Nicaraguensis that I have, funny enough, in with the Neotropolis. These ones, they're not F1, it's a pair that I got from Pier Aquatics about 3 or 4 weeks ago. As you can see, they're practicing digging holes. They actually do like to landscape these ones. About a week ago, all the substrate in here was flat. As you can see, the fry off the Nicaraguensis, there's still about 20 in here. They're not getting picked off by anything, which is quite surprising. There is a Tetracanthus and a Cuban cichlid. I thought that would have been snacking on them. And this is a trio that I've got. There's a large female, a smaller female, which is one of the F1s, and a male that I picked up from Pier Aquatics the same time as the last pair. As you can see, they are quite easy to sex. You can see all the speckles on the male's dorsal fin and the sheen on the females. The colours are really amazing. They are one of the most colourful Central American cichlids. They were actually described by Gunther in 1864, and from what I can make out, they first come over into the hobby in the late 1970s. They are quite easy to keep. It's normal water conditions. Utils are slightly alkaline. Temperature ranges round about 78, same as normal. Feeding them is really easy. It's all your normal pellets, sticks, flakes, frozen food, live food, just about anything really. You know, you can see in this tank with the fenestratum, the smaller female keeps sizing them up. I'm hoping that the male will choose one of them to actually pair off with, but at the moment it seems to be the two females. The two females are always together, and the male's off by himself. Anyway, that's about all there is to say about the Nicaraguensis. If you get the chance to keep them, it's well worth it. And I'll see you all again next week.